Timeshare owners of UK amber countries losing money whether they travel or not. The UK government's traffic light system has put Spain and Greece among others on its amber list. Since voiding amber list countries is more like advice and not a legal requirement, travel agents and companies are within their rights to refuse refunds, credits, and travel changes. Expectations were that travel will be changeable is turning out to be a nightmare. Options are to lose the money you paid to travel as well as the timeshare investment, or travel anyway and lose earnings from work time spent in mandated quarantine. Being on the amber list means the official advice is not to travel to those destinations. Because of this, many travel agents are refusing to refund or credit timeshare owners who made plans to travel but are now stuck having to wade through the conditions and potential loss of financial earnings and prepaid travel expenses. For holidaymakers like Sandra Norman, who is unwilling to fly to amber list countries, this is a big dilemma. Sandra explained in an interview with the BBC that she booked an important family trip to Greece a year ago with the expectation that if travel was disallowed, she would be able to move or cancel the holiday. She tried to move the booking to 2022 but says the travel agent refused. The Normans can either risk going to an amber list country or lose the £5,000 they paid. Avoiding amber list countries is not a legal requirement, meaning companies are within their rights to refuse refunds or date changes. The quarantine hurdle. Even if the Normans brave the amber destination, the other factor that makes such a country holiday impossible for Sandra's family is that a 10-day quarantine is obligatory on return, as well as expensive PCR tests. Sandra's husband and son have a plumbing business. Taking an extra 10 days off is not an option for them. It would also mean extra time off from work for Sandra, and off from school for her grandsons. You can't cancel your timeshare. The Norman family are among the unlucky ones who booked in advance, hoping things would be back to normal by now. Regular holidaymakers can generally opt to avoid amber list countries and stay close to home during these uncertain times. But what if, like over 650,000 Brits, you own a timeshare? What if, like over 76% of those owners, your timeshare is in amber-listed Spain or Greece? It's a huge problem, said Andrew Cooper, CEO of European Consumer Claims, ECC. Timeshare owners have to pay for their accommodation whether they use it or not. They are stuck with the difficult choice of either writing off their annual fees, around the same as the cost of regular accommodation, or paying thousands extra for PCR tests, risking travel against government advice to an amber list country, and having a legally mandated extra 10 days quarantine upon return. Get help. For many timeshare owners, this disappointment is nothing new. Timeshare used to be a groundbreaking way to holiday, says Andrew Cooper. However, the rest of the travel business has caught up and overtaken it in terms of flexibility and value. Timeshare in 2021 is little more than an expensive restrictive commitment that most members wish they could get rid of. The good news for Spanish timeshare owners is that many of them can either escape or even claim compensation with professional help. For many years since 1999, timeshare companies in Spain have been ignoring laws enacted to protect consumers from high-pressure sales, said Cooper, and many of those affected are not only able to escape the contracts but also claim sizable amounts of compensation. Even owners who are not eligible for compensation can often be helped out of their contracts and the accompanying burden of annual maintenance fees. Cooper added a note of caution. Be careful who you retain for relinquishment or compensation claims, he warned. Sadly, the majority of firms offering these services are fraudsters. They will take your money but then disappear. If you know other owners who have successfully retained a claims firm, then seek their guidance. Otherwise, there are several timeshare consumer associations who will advise you for free, and a website called timesharetrust.co.uk which provides resources to help you do your own research. Or you can get in touch with us at ECC for a free, confidential chat. ESAD smiley for client enquiries, Europe, info@ecc-eu.com USA, info@europeanconsumerclaims.com. T, Europe +44800610015112 +44203-6704616. USA, 18777 962 010.